I was with a guy that I was seeing him and sleeping with him for months, and he bluntly just says, like, yeah, haha, like, I'm bi. And I was like, wait, what?
Welcome back to 3 Girls, 1 Kitchen. If you're listening on a streaming platform, make sure that you hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe to our channel, check out our clips channel, as well as like this video and leave a comment about your favorite part. So today's episode is about online dating and just like dating during COVID, because how do you even meet people during this time?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a struggle.
Just Instagram.
You both are single. You're like emerging not being single anymore. But you've been out there during this year.
Yeah, it's there's been a lot of dead space for sure for all of us. Honestly, there's a lot of we're pretty much act like we're dating, Olivia and I.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
you guys do sleep in the same bed every night.
Yeah, we do. And she's like, "When are you gonna be home?"
I was actually getting really annoyed, I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, we have to film this morning. She was gone from 8 in the morning until 11:30 at night, and I was like,
wait, only 11:30 and you were tripping?
Yeah.
Oh
Mom's
my God.
mad.
Wait, I have a question. So now that she's like sort of like talking to someone, are you like getting jealous that she has like another person in her life?
Kinda. Yeah. Because I always have this PTSD of losing a friend, because it always happens like when you're friends.
You have told me about this a lot.
But
like,
I don't do that. I'm not like that at all, honestly.
Yeah,
I swear. I pinky promise.
I feel like Alexa's personality is more like a dude who always prioritizes their homeboys, and so I feel like she's not gonna ditch you even if she gets like wifed up.
She'll be like, yo, can I bring the homies, aka Olivia?
Do I not do that anyway?
Yeah.
Like
she's like, yo, you want to come cuddle with us? And I'm like, no, it's a little weird.
Literally, it's like, do you want to come
Yeah,
cuddle?
I could actually see her doing that.
I do. Yeah, like she invites me over to like come cuddle and watch movies. I'm like, no, I'm good. That's weird.
I like to include everyone, you know?
Oh my goodness.
I'm like that too, though. I don't know why. I always love everyone's company. Like, if I'm talking to a guy, I want the guy and my best friend to be there. Like,
oh my God. I personally, whenever I started like hanging out with you and your friends, like outside of work, I found it kind of weird that whenever one of us would be talking to a guy, or like you guys would, you would invite like all the friends like with to be like, oh, will you come with me?
Oh wait,
to
so you
hang
caught
out,
on to that?
To hang out with so-and-so, because why are you, like, I just don't get it. Like, I personally, whenever I'm interested in someone, I want to like get to know them and hang out with them alone. Like, I just find it so weird just bringing your best friend to everything.
I know. I definitely learned that the hard way though, because then sometimes your friends, they don't know how to act, or maybe they like say certain things, you know, or have their own one-sided opinions.
You had an issue with this.
Yeah, so I definitely learned that the hard way. And to be honest though, I've actually had that happen to multiple girlfriends that I've had, to where I'm constantly bringing them around the guy that I'm talking to, and something always happens, like some sort of drama that involves them.
Yeah, well, you've actually lost multiple friends this year from like introducing friends to guys that you were talking to, and then them like hanging out in a friendly
becoming
way,
friends with them
in
after,
a friendly way, and then like just still hanging out with them and stuff. You know what I think it is? Because I've never, like, sometimes I feel like this would happen to people, but I feel like in LA it happens more often, because a lot of times these guys have like followers online, or they're like somewhat famous, and so I feel like the girls are like not caring as much about like their friendship and like girl code because of who the guys are.
It's what can benefit them the most. That's what people care about, is like what will benefit them.
And that's sort of what I've like pieced together in the last few months as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely like to see the situation first. You know, I want to hang out alone, of course. Yeah. But if it's someone I don't know at all, I definitely don't go alone. I'm too scared. I'll be like, meet me in a public, you know.
Yeah, I'd say meet me at a public place. But before, like, I don't know, I guess maybe I've only had one girlfriend at a time, but I don't think I've ever like invited them to hang out with me and the guy that I'm interested in. Like, I feel, no offense to you guys, but I feel like that's sort of almost like juvenile, like middle school, like high school type like antics.
Well, because you're also allowing them to get to know your friend on a personal level. And I think that's weird, because they should be taking that time to get to know you.
And yeah, they should be taking the time to get to know you.
Because they're catered to two people.
I feel like you guys do it because you're like somewhat nervous to like get to know the guy, but you guys I feel like you need to like get past that and grow past that.
Well, I don't do if it's a one-on-one thing. So like anytime, like even when I invited you over before, there's a lot of people there. Like I bring my friends, or I'll be like, meet me out at this club, or let's go to this bar, like things like that. I would never be just me and one guy and be like, can I bring a friend?
this date, to dinner.
I've never been like that. No.
If there's like a social setting,
Yeah.
but like her and like some of her other friends that I've met, like they'll literally be like inviting each other to a one-on-one setting where it's just like them and the guy, and it's like that's so weird to me. I'm like, don't you want to get to know him?
Okay, yeah, I've never done that, not a one-on-one, unless it was like I was already heavily dating and I'm like, oh, my boyfriend and I are going to get lunch, want to come? That's different.
Like a casual thing.
Yeah, but I've never been like in an intimate setting and like, here's my friend coming in with us.
I've also seen guys complain about that where they don't like it. They're like, why can't she just hang out with me? Why is her black friend always got to be there? You know?
So listen, whenever I was actually talking to the basketball player and I had invited my friend, I'm not even kidding, on God.
Did he say that?
Yes. I go, oh, like, that's cool. Like, I'll come over. Should I bring so-and-so? And he texted me back and he said, nah, just you. Like, he literally said, like, I'm just trying to get to know you, not your fucking friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Wow.
It was over to his house, and I know he, like, has people there all the time. So I just, like, assumed, you know, it'll kind of be, like, an icebreaker since we're always all together, like, you know.
Yeah. I am so happy I didn't come out that night because I was supposed to go out with you guys, and then you ended up calling me at, like, 6 a.m, like, this was the worst night of my life. I'm traumatized.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, I think, like you said, if there's any advice I can give to girls out there that are talking to a guy, and I've learned this from you too, you've told me this, keep that shit secretive. Like, don't fucking tell all your girlfriends who you're talking to, who's the guy, because honestly, you never know these girls' intentions, and even though they're harmless or their intentions are not what you would think they are, they still benefit somewhat from it. So, like, the friends I've lost because of those issues, they're still best friends with those guys. Like, they still associate with them. They still like their photos on Instagram. They still talk to them. They still hang out with them. Like, that's weird. That's not okay.
And I think the girl code sort of, like I said before, gets less importance in LA because of the factor that everyone wants to be famous and everyone wants to do this. And so these guys have that to offer them. So they're just completely disrespecting the friendship that they had prior. But anyways, the situation that we're talking about with you and your friend where it went like awry with the guy and now you're not friends with the girl anymore, that actually started with that girl meeting a different guy on an online dating website, which is like dating app. People don't use websites anymore.
Some people do.
Which is like the way to meet people during COVID. Yeah. Like, are you guys on any dating apps?
We're on Raya.
No, I have Raya, but I have not even been on it.
Really?
So I don't use it at all.
I'm like,
I used to use it like 2 years ago. I was like in Laguna, bored, like going through it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I haven't even messaged anyone on there in like over a year. Like, I don't use it. I don't know why
you're taking that for granted. Whenever I was single, Raya rejected me like 4 times.
Raya.
I can't get on.
Yeah, I know.
They won't let me on.
Do you remember I wrote them a letter?
Let's just update my photos and then I'll put in the bio like, this is not Alexa Adams.
This is actually
Lana. But no, you're in a relationship. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
If you were
single. She goes, oh yeah.
I just want them to accept me so I can just feel accepted. Not that I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
But it just would be nice to feel accepted.
Yeah. I need to delete mine, honestly. It's a waste. It's not that great.
Have you guys met anyone good on there?
Yeah, I've met some people on there. Never, and that's a situation.
Is that where you met that? Was he a football player or a basketball player? A different one. Which one? The one that you guys hung out with that one time.
He was a basketball player.
Yeah, it's a basketball player.
Wait, we could actually. I feel like we should.
No,
don't.
I'm not saying names.
Don't say his name. Just
way too well known.
You guys. Did he look the same as his pictures? Like, I know, like there was like a situation there.
He was pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I did better looking in person.
By the way, guys, we're not talking about the same basketball players. My friends just really like basketball players, so there's a lot of basketball players that we can talk about. I don't know if that made any sense.
Which team would you like to talk about?
The Lakers, they're all different
76ers, the
We're not talking about the same one.
No, should I say like what he had sent me that night and then never talked to him?
Yeah, so how was it like? So you guys met him on Raya, right?
Not you guys, but yeah.
Yeah,
we don't have a joint Raya.
On Raya, and was it just him whenever you guys hung out with him?
No. So he was like, I'm having some people over.
So that's why you bought her with?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So she came with me. Oh, it was all chill. Everyone was like drinking, whatever. And then we were like, like let's go. At first it was like more of an intimate gathering, like maybe less than 10 people.
Yeah, like 5.
And then more people kind of showed up. And then we were like, let's go to dinner, like AKA, like we were just kind of going to leave.
Wait, did you guys actually go to dinner?
No, we went to Eben's, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought you guys meant the boys asked you to go to dinner.
Oh, no. We were like, we're gonna, whatever. We leave, we're gone for a few hours. And so, like, I'm just kind of, like, pretty drunk at this point. I've been having tequila all day. And I'm like, okay, like, should we come back over? Like, wondering, like, are there still people there? Like, what's the vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he responds and he says, only if you want me. And so I didn't want him.
What does that mean?
I mean, I'm assuming that means only if you want to hook up with me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And so...
Did you get that vibe from him at all, like, the first time that you guys hung out?
Okay, so we were arguing because I can usually tell.
I remember her telling me about this guy, and she was like, no, he's super nice in person. But I think that was before he sent the text message.
Well, no, she was arguing with me saying, like, I don't think he's flirting with you. I don't think he's interested. And I'm like, sweetie, yeah, he is. Like, yeah, he is. I can tell. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yes. So then obviously I like when we were leaving too, he's like, why are you leaving? Like, where, whatever. Yeah. I didn't respond to that only if you want me text because I was like, first off, I don't. Sorry, I was just wondering if you're still having a party. And then he texted me again like 2 hours after that. He's like, where are you? And I just never said anything. We have not talked since then.
Yeah.
You know, the next morning he was probably like, well, that's embarrassing.
I'm happy that you embarrassed him because that's super rude to be like, oh, we can only hang out if you're down to hook up.
Yeah, like, and that's what a lot of guys do.
Yeah, just because of who you are. Like, no, sweetie,
like sorry, but just because you're somebody, me having sex with you does nothing for me. Like, I don't know. It's probably wasn't even going to be good, to be honest.
Like, are you going to get me a Chanel bag for that?
Courtside tickets.
I don't even want that.
For my girls.
Yeah. Have you guys gone on any other online dates?
That was not a date.
I mean,
you know, like meeting up. You personally don't like going on dates.
No,
like you love like that, like chill like setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I get to know someone better. I'm so awkward and clam up in one-on-one dates.
I mean, we've talked about this before. It can sort of give them the wrong vibe, like you are just trying to hook up because you're not asking to go on a date. But I feel like that's a lot more acceptable now during COVID because technically you're not really supposed to go anywhere.
And you shouldn't have to ask a guy to ask you on a date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
If a guy asks me on a date, I'm not going to say, let's just hang out. But the thing is I'm not going to be, they're not going to be like, oh, let's hang out. I'm not going to respond and be like, take me on a date now. Like,
yeah. That makes it like, I feel like I've been seeing this a lot. Guys, I'm a child. I take my dating advice from TikTok.
No, she always watches or she listens to articles.
And I've been seeing a lot, like, if you have to ask him to do it, that means that he doesn't want to do it. Oh. Yeah. So if, like, you see yourself having to tell a guy how to act, to take you on dates, or, like, you know, trying to push him away from just wanting to hook up and, like, actually, like, seeing each other, then it's probably just not going to work out. So cut that shit in the bud.
Yeah, you were sending me these things, actually.
Really?
You remember?
I'm always sending them, like, memes too, like, girl power memes. Yeah. Like, I'm the biggest girl's girl. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I hate men. Them. Don't give them a chance.
I think
I'm over here like, no, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
give them 300 chances.
I'm like, hell no.
I'm learning.
So back to you. I want to hear about your dates during like quarantine, like meeting people online.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I definitely... I'm an old school person. I know this sounds really weird, but I used to have like an online boyfriend that I had never met in person. I think he had about 2-3 photos of himself.
Oh, catfish.
2-3 photos.
Catfish.
No, where they at? Okay, so here you were in middle school, high school.
Yes, like middle school, kind of like beginning high school.
And you said this was like the like whole like emo era. And,
yeah.
Like, okay.
But I mean,
was he one of those like scene boys?
No. He was
no bangs. Like
he was from
black
a different
hair bangs.
No, but he did have bangs, but they were brown, like the Justin Bieber cut.
Oh, so he was the Justin Bieber.
He was the Justin Bieber.
That's my vibe. Because I feel like a lot of those catfish guys were like scene looking
emo,
guys.
eyeliner.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't into that, honestly. No.
Me neither.
Okay, so continue.
So had a relationship online for about a year or so, and then obviously we like broke it off. And then I remember, this is how I know he wasn't a catfish. Because I remember.
He wasn't a catfish?
No.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a catfish story.
No, yeah, he wasn't. I got back on MySpace like a few years later, and I had noticed him because we were still friends. I think he actually like reached out to me just to see like how I was, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, miss your girlfriend.
Yeah, like, do you remember? Like, we talked about it and we joked about it. We were like, do you remember, like, you know, a couple years ago, like, we were like having a little relationship.
Quick question. Did you guys have an official breakup, like, did you have to, like, be like, hey, I'm sorry, this isn't working out anymore?
Yeah.
Also, did you ever wonder why you guys were never meeting?
Well, we were like kids. How was that going to happen? He was in a different state.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys? Catfish. I guess there was no FaceTime then, or what was there? Was there even Skype then?
No,
yeah,
nothing. Like all you have is your flip phone.
Did you guys talk on the phone?
Yeah.
Wait, so how do you know that he wasn't fake?
So she's saying...
Because even if you talked, a lot of catfishes will talk on the phone, but it's obviously a different person. Like,
could have been an old, creepy guy.
No. Well, I know he wasn't fake because what I was saying is a couple years later we talked and I saw his profile pictures and they were updated, like all new, where like he was older and stuff. So
yeah,
I want to see him.
Yeah,
I want to be honest.
He obviously wasn't as attractive,
I want to see him
then, but maybe we can find him. I honestly forgot his name.
Maybe we should follow up with him now.
Yeah. Should we find him? Should we hire the guy that does the catfish?
I thought this was gonna be a juicy catfish story, but it was just like a cute like.
We should do like a YouTube video of us like getting her a date, finding her love.
Aww.
Yeah. I love love.
I kind of want to like log into MySpace and just see what I've done.
Have you guys ever been catfished? Because like I was really interested. I thought it was going to be a catfishing story. Have you?
I'm trying to think, like I didn't believe it, but someone was trying to catfish me, like pretending to be, when I first moved here, like I just got like random ads on my Snapchat and it was like people trying to pretend to be like literally one of them was Cameron Dallas. And it was like YouTubers, like people were like trying to send me photos.
What?
Yeah, because I used to have my Snapchat open, so even if I didn't add you back, you could send me photos. You know how that was a thing. So then it would be like photos, but you could tell it was a photo of a photo, and it was like trying to
of a photo.
Yeah, because it was Snapchat. Like you couldn't just upload. Especially this was when I was 18, so 7 years ago.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I remember distinctly it was someone like trying to pretend to be Cameron Dallas. There's the other like Instagrammer guy. I don't even remember his name now.
Did you ever like have conversations and talk to them?
No, I didn't. I just put my Snapchat back on private.
I have a few catfish stories.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You've been catfished?
Sort of. But I actually caught Mike being catfished. So as you guys know, I love to go through his phone. So I saw this message like that he was talking to this girl on Twitter like a couple days after we met. Maybe like the same week. Like we weren't serious yet. We weren't dating.
I remember this.
Yeah,
I don't.
And so I see this. He was asking her to brunch like after he met me. I'm like, damn, like you're asking someone to brunch after you met me? Like I thought that you liked me right away. I thought that you knew I was the one. And so of course I go and look at this girl's profile and it says that she lives in Mexico, but she's like so pretty. Mm-hmm. And so of course I was like a little uptight because he likes to joke around. I was like, well, if you guys would have hung out, who would you have dated, me or her? And he says, her, obviously. And so like his jokes are not funny.
Yeah, that's not funny.
His jokes are so mean. So then I got pissed off. I'm like looking at her pictures. I'm like, oh my god, this girl is so pretty. A couple months later, I'm thinking about it again. And I'm like, this girl's too pretty to only have this amount of followers. So then I take one of her pictures. I reverse
Google search.
She did the catfish work.
And it's a real girl who lives in the UK, but the catfish photoshopped her pictures to make her look better. The real girl was like a little bit like more overweight, like not that pretty. Like pretty, but like not like, oh my god, like she's perfect. Like I can't believe this girl was even interested in him. Like,
you're like, what is wrong with her?
And Mike, I don't think I ever even told him that he was talking to like probably some man in like Mexico.
Well, now he's
that wasn't
gonna know.
Even this girl.
Now he's gonna know.
And he thought he was talking to like this really hot girl. Also, the actual girl didn't even
see.
look like those pictures because they were so photoshopped.
Yeah.
I mean, the real girl's pretty, but that's beyond the point. Just
I mean,
not like, oh my god, like I can't compare to this.
I know a lot of people that message me saying that like people are pretending to be me and like talking to them. Like people have actually sent money to someone thinking it's me. Like people use my photos and like
people do that.
So
with
I'm
me
like,
too.
yeah. So I'm like, why? First off, you know, if you're contacting me on my social media, you already know that that's me. Why would I have a second one with my same name? And why would I be asking for money from you? Like that, not being mean, but like use your brain. You know.
Maybe it's just like a reason for them to talk to you.
I mean, it's been a lot of different ones, but yeah, I obviously don't respond. Sorry.
Well, I used to use Tinder whenever me and my husband first broke up.
Me too.
And the guys never look like their pictures. I went on dates with 2. One of them was like so hot. I was like, oh my god, he's so fine. This is gonna make my ex-husband so jealous. He looked so good, like perfect muscles. His waist looked like this tiny, blonde hair, like cute little button nose.
Sounds hot.
Like I am
keep going.
Like where's
so excited to go on a date with this guy. The night before we're supposed to meet up, he FaceTimes me and he's like, hey, I think we should FaceTime because I don't feel like you're gonna like me in person. Because I was going on and on about how attractive he is, like, and he FaceTimes me. It's like dark though, so I can't really see.
He like turns off all the lights.
He's like, let's FaceTime. You can see nothing but like the white of his eyes.
Yeah, he's like, just so you know, I'm like sort of sick right now, so like I sort of look like But he still sort of looked like his pictures.
Aww,
like
was
it was
he
like
really hurting
dark.
himself?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh God.
And so we met up at my gym, and whenever he showed up, like looked nothing like his pictures, like snaggletooth, like his later, like he took his shirt off. Like I didn't hook up with him or anything, but no muscles. He looked like he was a bodybuilder. Waist wasn't that small. He had stretch marks all over his body, like scars all over. Like just nothing like his pictures.
So he Facetuned a lot or photoshopped a lot.
He told me, oh, it's all angles, like, and flexing. But it's like, I don't think you could do all that and get rid of all those scars.
Did you say something, or did he come out and be like, oh, but like, did you say you don't look like your photo? Like, why did he say it's all angles?
He told me that before we met up, because I was literally going on and on about, like, I'm gonna fall in love with you right away. Like, you're so hot.
Look at those abs.
I'm a sucker
know.
for hot guys. And he'd be like, oh, it's all angles, you know. And I'd be like, oh, he's just being polite.
Oh, I say that all the time about myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like
That's
your
so
butt is
sad.
nice. Yeah, it's just angles.
Because, you know, I think a lot of people do that because it does make them mentally feel better. Like, whenever someone's really, really depressed because of their image, they do those things. Like, they Facetune to... because it actually does, like, help them psychologically. No. But then, of course, when they actually meet someone in person, it's, like, worse for them. That's why I don't do Facetuning, because you're actually now going to even have more anxiety and depression.
That's embarrassing. And also, you trick the other person.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it would be great if people were interested originally off someone's personality. But if you're not my type, it's wrong for you to trick me to going on a date with you, you know?
I also think it makes it worse. Like, I've had where, like, photographers or anyone edited me to where I even noticed someone made my lips bigger or something small, and I'm like, okay, so since you had to fix that, you're saying that that's wrong with me, and it makes me feel worse. So if someone edits and Facetunes me, then I'm like, even if I feel like, okay, I look hotter, it makes me more sad because that's not what I look like. So I try to not, because, like, I'm the opposite of what you were saying, you know?
I hate whenever photographers edit me and, like, smooth out my skin. Like, I don't like whenever things look too fake.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like, back in Indiana when, like, we were modeling before we came out here, you know, the hometown photographers. There's photos that don't look like... He made my nose smaller, like, things like that. Yes. And my mom and I were like... Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that would make me feel bad. I've never had them, like, edit, like... Sure, like, if my boobs didn't look great in a picture, they'll, like, make them look a little bit better. But I've never had them, like, change my face.
Yeah. I've had photographers do that. I will actually never forget this one photographer. I swear he had Asperger's because he was such a... He literally, I will never forget this, he said, I had to get headshots for Miss Tennessee at the time, and he was one that took them. And he was taking so long to give me my photos back. And mind you that he actually was a very good photographer. Like, when you see his work, like, it looks very, like, high-end editorial, like Calvin Klein. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that's what I'm going to look like. Well, he texted me back as I kept bugging him for the photos, and he goes, well, if your skin wasn't so goddamn bad and me having to go in and take out every pore and imperfection on it, it wouldn't be taking so long. He literally said that to me, and I was like,
that is so rude.
I would have been you're fired.
Here's the thing. He had a point.
There is no, you don't
I know,
say that.
You don't say that. Yeah, you obviously don't say that to someone, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to lie, like, yeah, that really stabbed me in the heart, but it also made me very self-aware of my skin. And as a model, like, I hate to say it, like, you will hear those things. Like, you will have a client say, I can't work with her. She cannot do my makeup campaign because her skin's bad.
Or like, they can say it in a nice way. He could have been like, oh, yeah, it's just taking a little bit longer. I'm just having to edit a little extra.
Well, mind you, I said Asperger's, so that's probably why, because he just does not comprehend that you can't.
But that doesn't make you mean.
I don't think that sounds like Asperger's. No. I know a lot of people with that. I feel like that just
sounds like
he was just like, constantly saying very rude.
That you were, like, rushing them, and so, like, they're like taking it back out on you.
No, he was always mean. Like, he would always say, like, very inappropriate comments.
That seems like a personal problem.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a nice way
I'm honestly here vouching for him, saying he might have something wrong with him, but yeah, maybe he's just
issues.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have another catfish story.
Ooh.
There was this one guy, he did, like, lie to me about his height, so...
Oh, no, that's the worst.
He's on his profile, it literally says I'm 6'2". In person, he showed up and he was like 5'6", maybe. But that's beyond the point. So we're, like, talking for, like, maybe a week or two before I finally hang out with him. But he seemed really, really cool, and he lived in Chicago, too. He had, like, 2 cute, like, Chinese crested dogs. I was like, oh, my God, this man is perfect for me. Like, he seems so cool, like, great personality. The night before we're supposed to go on our first date, he randomly brings up that, yeah, whenever I fact, transgender girls, it wasn't the same cuddling with them after because you can smell the pheromones are different.
He said that to you out of nowhere.
I think we were talking about like probably at the time I don't wear deodorant at the time, so we were talking about like the natural scent and how it attracts, and he's like, yeah, the smell of the woman is different. The times that I've had sex with transgender women, I could tell afterwards because the pheromones weren't the same. I didn't get the same high. You know, it was just like so random. Like before the first date, he sprung that on me. And again, like do what you want.
I'd be like,
that's
all right,
fine.
well, it's been real. I
don't like the way that he worded it. It doesn't even matter if he was talking about transgender or not. If he said the way I fuck someone or when I fuck someone, that's weird.
I think he felt that he could be really open with me because of who I am. But also it was just like so random to bring up like right before the first date. And I still, like at first I was like sort of like taken back by it because that's not something that you're used to hearing from a guy that you're like trying to talk to.
Yeah.
And so I sort of friend zoned him after that just because also he showed up on the date and he was like way shorter. So that has something to do with it too.
We all know, yes.
Yo, that's crazy.
No, I just think it's weird. It doesn't matter anything at all. If you're talking to a guy, especially in the beginning, you've never met, and they're like talking to you about someone, I think that's weird and inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like imagine, you know, like if you said that to him, or if, you know, guys would not like that. So why do they say that to us?
So there's a tip. Don't talk about that. That's weird.
Yeah.
You've had like a similar issue with a guy where you guys actually hooked up, dated, and then he came back later and told you that he was bisexual.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell you up front. So I'm sort of happy that he did tell me because I think I would have been mad later that you lied about your sexuality.
No, I agree. Honestly, like that's a good point, and maybe that was just not the best way for him to say that to you.
Worded it different.
But I do respect that because, like you said, I was with a guy that I was seeing him and sleeping with him for months, and you know, we broke it off, and then we kind of like rekindled just to go hang out and have lunch, and he bluntly just says like, yeah, haha, like I'm bi, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? No, I didn't. I actually even made a joke.
Hadn't you asked him
I had made a joke and even brought that up one day, but maybe that's why he felt uncomfortable saying, because of the way that I brought the joke up. He was like, oh, like this girl might be like really against this, which I mean, yeah, I am. But if you would have been honest with me and told me, I would have.
Just to be clear, because this is a really sensitive topic.
I was about to say.
You're not saying that you're against like people doing, but you're saying that you're not 100% comfortable with dating someone who's not only into your gender,
especially when I'm sleeping with them, because I would feel like I would want to know, like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like there'd always be that
just being
in the
protected.
back of your mind, like, is he really into me or is he more into that?
Yeah, and that too also, because you don't know. I feel like I'm having to like, you know, fight for his attention. But yeah, I just.
Oh yeah, now you don't just have to fight for attention with women. You have to fight for attention with both
If it's the right guy, you don't have to fight for attention at all. So it doesn't matter either way. If he loves you, he loves you.
And that's why I was open to it, because whenever he told me, I didn't care. That's the thing. Like, you know, I didn't care. I still wanted to have something with this guy because I genuinely liked him. I did not care if he was gay, straight, bi, whatever it was. Like, I genuinely like really liked this person. What hurt me and what repulsed me is that he lied to me when I had asked him. And that's what made me feel like really just some type of way, like, why would this guy lie about this? Like, why is it such a big deal that he was hiding this from me?
Yeah.
Like, you like, you know, we were having intimate moments together, and you, like, you took advantage of my body, and, like, you lied to me about it, you know, like, who you sleep with.
Yeah, and he even just, like, I guess, like, that was just the time that he was like, I'm just going to put it all out there, because didn't he start telling you, like, guys that he was, like, talking to and, like, FaceTiming, like, just, like, out of nowhere?
Yeah, out of
No
nowhere.
Yeah, dude. Girl time, let's chat.
Yeah, seriously, like, what? I was just, dropping hints, but I guess, I don't know. I was in denial.
I mean, I'm all about being honest and open. Like, I don't care what it is. It could be the worst news ever, but just don't lie to me and I won't get mad. Yeah. That's just me. Like, if you're talking to a girl or whatever, as long as we're not, like, exclusive, don't lie to me about it. I'll be way less mad.
I believe in that, too, is setting honest expectations for the other person, because then, you know, you can't let them down because they already knew that this is what you were on.
Yeah.
You know?
That's my one rule, is just don't lie to me. Like, be open and honest. Because girls find out everything anyway. Like,
that's true.
LA is not as big as you think, people. Everyone talks.
Everyone
knows
the girls talk. I'm constantly in detective mode. I need to stop. It's not healthy for me.
I don't
my
even
hair's
mean
falling
to.
out.
I'll just be stumbling across things, or someone will randomly text me and I'm like, don't tell me this, don't tell me. I'll just be at a gathering and someone will come up to me and tell me information, and I'm like, I didn't ask this.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But yeah, you can't keep secrets here.
Well, what do you guys think, like, though, since we're, like, kind of talking about this topic, when do you feel that it's appropriate for you to sleep with a guy? Like, if you just start talking to a guy or seeing a guy that you're really interested in, how many days would you go until you give it up?
I don't really go off of, like, counting days. I go off whenever I feel like it's right. And so I would say now, I mean, with my current boyfriend, I waited probably like a month, and we had gone on like a trip together.
Wait, can we just, like, that's,
I was like, what, are you pausing? Yeah, we're clapping.
wow. Props to you.
I mean, part of it was because I wasn't really into him at first, so I needed, you're like,
We're
that's
like,
so mean.
Let's cut that out.
No, he knows
was
this.
so
I told him I
Aw.
wasn't into him at first.
It's like Beauty and the Beast.
But that's mean.
That's mean. Anyway.
No, their story. Jesus, why are you making it about who they are?
I wasn't into him at first, but I've said this multiple times. Like, his intelligence, his way, like, his personality, him as a person, and our similar life experiences is what won me over. And so by the time that we went on our trip to Miami together, I was, like, already really wanting to do it. Like, I was really into him. But I have to tell you, the first time that me and Mike kissed, I was like, ugh, like, I don't want to kiss this guy.
I remember
It's
you saying
repulsive.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
and now I'm, like, begging him for kisses.
That is cute.
So that's part of why I waited so long, was because I wasn't into him at first. Like, I physically couldn't have made myself hook up with him because I was not into him.
And I feel like the anticipation of it too is more meaningful. Like, I know a lot of guys have like dribble brains and they just think that like they just want to fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
But honestly, it just makes it better for both of you. Like, whenever you actually have sex with someone that you genuinely have a connection with.
Oh my
Like, it's not
gosh,
just I
sex
swear,
is so much
guys.
better.
I swear. I know you're horn dogs, but I swear, like, the sex will be better if you fucking wait.
And have feelings.
Because you're going to have so much, like, tension, like, built up, like, sexual tension. Like, it's going to be amazing. Even if you think it's going to suck, no, it's going to be amazing.
Well, and if you have feelings for them, it's
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
that's how you know when you don't have feelings for someone anymore. Like, if the sex starts to get bad and you're like, I was just blinded by love.
No, it can go back and forth, though, because, like, sometimes me and Mike will have, like, a fight, and then, like, the sex will be like, oh my God, this is so boring, like, awful.
You're like, I'm annoyed with you. Like,
I mean, not even just that I'm annoyed with him. I'm just not feeling super in love at the moment, and then I won't be into the sex, and it'll just feel like, because for me, for sex to be good, it has to be super intimate, like connected.
Me too. Passionate.
But then, you know, once things are going good again, I start feeling like things are like great, like I love the sex again, like amazing.
I mean, I think
So, like, I don't think if you have like sex like a few times and you're like, oh, this is whack. I mean, not like the dick's whack, but just like, you know, you're not feeling like that connection. I don't feel like it means that the relationship's over, because it can definitely come back.
No, what I was saying is, like, I was just with someone for like 3-4 years,
Yeah, well, that's
and
a long
that's how
time.
I could tell though, was like whenever I wasn't feeling it anymore, because I was always wanting to, always like obsessed, always wanting, and then I was like, actually, I could just tell a difference, you know?
Yeah.
So how long would you wait, though? Or, like, what's your...
So it depends on the person, you know? I would always be bad about putting sex first. That was an issue I always had with people, is like, obviously I wouldn't do it like the first time I met them, but I would just always like emphasize sex and sexual things.
I think it's like intimacy is like your thing. Like
Yeah.
like the love language. Like you love touch, intimacy.
Physical touch.
Yeah.
So that's your way of like showing someone like you like them, like you fuck with them.
Yeah, I'm like, So now I'm doing better, and I'm like trying to wait. Like, I don't want to have sex until I'm dating someone.
Oh, that's my girl. I'm like, yes.
Love that for you.
I know. But,
Pray
I mean,
for me.
I think for me, it's when I feel like you respect me and I feel comfortable. You know, for instance, I was talking to a guy for like 3 weeks and I wouldn't put it out, and he got frustrated. And I was like, look, I don't fucking care. If you're going to have an attitude with me, taking me out on a date, like simple things, I'm asking you to go on a date and have a fucking pouty face the entire time.
Yeah.
And literally be like going like this, getting the fucking waiter's check because you think we're going to fuck after this date. Like, that's what turns me off.
Yeah, ew.
Like, no.
Awfully rightfully so with how that ended. Like, I'm happy that you didn't, because you didn't deserve it.
But it's just like, for guys, I don't understand like why you think that way. Like, that's not gonna make me want to sleep with you, for you to have that attitude and like for you to be like pushing yourself onto me.
Yeah.
To fuck you. Like, it's just not gonna happen. That's actually gonna make me want you less, because in my mind that's thinking like
same.
you only want me
to hook up.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, bye.
No, I'm the exact same. Like, if I feel like they respect and care about me, not even like, see, I used to look at it to where if you respect and care about me as like a friend or a person, I would, because I wouldn't necessarily want a relationship at certain points. But yeah, now I'm just like, okay, people trick you. I've been tricked a lot.
There's some good magicians out there.
So now I'm learning.
I mean, what are some good tips for girls to decipher whether a guy is just trying to hook up or actually interested in dating?
The effort. I don't know. It's
action.
tricky.
Yeah, because it is really hard, but yeah, you can just tell by the way he acts, if that makes sense, or just the look on his face. Like if he's doing nice things for you, is he doing it because he wants to, or if he wants to hook up with you? You can kind of start to tell just by their face, if that makes sense.
Also, when a guy asks you to hang out, there's a difference between a guy asking if you want to come chill at 11 o'clock versus, hey, do you want to go, like, grab lunch, or do you want to go on a hike? Like, that's night and day.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do so a lot of people in LA especially have unconventional jobs, so they can work. Like, my boyfriend's not done working till like 11 o'clock. Whenever we first started dating, I think we would hang out at nighttime, but he wasn't like trying to hook up with me. It was just because that's what worked with our schedule.
Yeah, so you have to be also aware of their like schedule, obviously,
and make sure they're not lying about it.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that I was talking to, he was an athlete, obviously, so he actually wouldn't even be like available until 6, 7, you know. So like I respected that. Like we would always hang out at night, and like I totally understood that.
Yeah,
so
I had a phase.
I feel like it's like you guys said did you want to?
No, I was just going to say I had a phase where I would be stupid and go hang out with someone at like 1 a.m. And I'd be like, oh yeah, they're working until 1 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Well, you already know who I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
Because I'm an artist, you know, like I got these studio sessions, babe.
Like I wouldn't even know who that man was if I didn't know 2 girls that dated him.
Well, I didn't date, but
girls talked to him, dated him, whatever. You guys sort of already touched this, but just like effort level. Whenever me and Mike first started dating, I knew that he was interested in more because one, all his like little girls that he was like using for sex before we started dating, he like curved them like literally in front of me. One of them, you were there at his birthday dinner, and this other girl that he used to like hook up with was also there, and I wasn't interested in him at all. I actually didn't like how he handled the situation because I thought that it was mean. We went to a club after, and like he's just like sitting there trying to talk to me, and this girl that he's been seeing for like a while, like hooking up with, was also there, and she's like trying to dance on him, and he's like, no, like get away from me, like you're drunk, like just trying to get her to go away so he can talk to me. Like he just straight up like curved all these girls whenever he met me, and so like they'll be very apparent like that they just want you. And then it's also like the effort level. He was sending like the good morning text every morning, following up with me, like say like 2 hours would go by and we didn't text, he'd be like, update me, how's your day going? Just like trying to keep the conversation going. And at this point, I'm still like really like pushing him off, like we can be friends, like I'm not interested in you like that, like very apparent. He just kept trying, like the effort was definitely there. I knew that I had Mike in the bag wanting to date me for like a very long time before we even started dating.
That's cute. I mean, I feel like if they get a lot of guys, I think you need to at least wait a month, because I've had people fake all of this. Most of them can do it for at least a week or 2.
Yeah, that's usually how long
the really good ones can do it for maybe a month, and then after that they're like, okay, whatever, and you see the true.
Those ones must be really desperate.
Yeah, well,
they're spending a month
like,
trying to get laid.
Yeah, I need to hear about, like, is this who I think we're talking about?
I don't know. Don't say any names.
No, I know, but I think I know who you're talking about.
I feel like I've had a few people trick me. A few. Yeah.
Maybe they were unsure. I don't think it's ever like 100% like, and I'm always skeptical of men, but I don't think it's always 100% like, oh, they tricked me, they just want to use me for this. I think the guy that you might be talking about is confused, and he personally didn't know what he wanted himself.
Well, yeah, well, I also he had a recent ex. That's another thing, guys. Well, like don't go after guys
I feel like, you know, it's not 100% one-sided. Like, sure, like as your friend, I like to tell you, yeah, he's a piece of shit, don't talk to him anymore, because that's what's best for you, because it's hurting you. But he probably isn't thinking about it like, oh, I'm using her, like I just want her for sex. He probably genuinely is confused. Like there definitely is some more feelings there. But however, ladies, if they're not giving you what you want,
leave.
Don't waste
Don't waste a year. Don't waste a month.
Whether they're doing it to be mean or not, you need to go out and get what makes you happy. And if they're not making you happy, you have to cut it.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say is I'm really bad about ignoring red flags. Like I will make up excuses. There will be so many from the day. So, you know, maybe it is not, I mean, it's not my fault, but I do get convinced because I'm ignoring all of these signs, and and then I'll like say something to them and they'll give me like a really lame excuse. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that works for me. Okay, let's, you know.
Well, that will get better with time. So I used to be like that. Like I would just believe everything that they told me. Just get over left and right. Eventually you get to a certain point where it's like you already have all these red flags in your head, and now I'm dating like a guy who probably actually is a good guy, but I can't believe him because I have all these red flags memorized in my head. And so it's like if you say something or do anything that like reminds me of those, it's like you're doing this, you're doing that. You know, and so you could be on the complete other side of the spectrum like me.
I know.
Where it's like everything's a red flag. So you need to figure out how to land it right in the middle.
I'm like you. I'm traumatized. I have red flags. It's like you invite me to a party, you talk to other girls and not me. Red flag. You have best girlfriend. Red flag.
You breathe
you ask
air.
Hang out at 11 o'clock at 9 p.m. Red flag.
She's like, you blink, red flag.
You breathe, red flag. No, seriously, I'm so traumatized. Like all these red flags, and they make me like resentful towards guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what? I'm not gonna blame it, saying like, oh, I'm single or I'm not dating someone because I can't find the guy. To be honest, I think it is me too because like I have a guard up, like, you know, like a wall that I'm so used to getting like over, and like the guys I've dated are assholes, like, you know. So I have all these red flags that now like the one thing he does, I'm just like like don't like that. You know, like another thing, and then the guy will be like, dude, like I'm trying, like I've never taken a girl out on a date since you, like in 3 years, like that's their way of like love language, like showing them that they're like are trying. And I'm like, no, I'm because it took you like 4 times for me to ask you to take me on a date, like, you know what I'm saying? So
I've heard that excuse a lot too, because I've dated, like Mike didn't have a girlfriend for like 10 years before we dated. Another guy that I dated also didn't have a girlfriend for like a decade before we dated. And their excuse always is, oh, I'm just like getting used to this again. Like I don't know like what to do, like how to do these things or how to be in a relationship.
Do you think that's an excuse, or do you really think that's just like them being lazy?
I think it's lazy. I've never had it, but I think it's just, I don't know, the first thing that they can think of.
I mean, sometimes, like, for example, with Mike, like, I feel like he really sometimes genuinely doesn't understand the etiquette of a relationship. Like, he'll say things to me or, like, do things not, like, really, like, bad, like, deal breaker bad, but it's like, how do you not understand that that's something that guys know would upset their girlfriend? And you say and do them thinking that it's just going to be fine.
Casually, that everything's going to be okay.
Like, it's like,
but sometimes everyone thinks differently. Like,
I think it's love language. Like, everyone.
Yeah, but there's things that, like, a guy could say to me, and a guy could say the same thing to you, and I could be like, chill, like, whatever, and you can get really upset about that. So, like, you, as a guy, you need to read the room. Read the girl, like, see who you're talking to and think about what would hurt their feelings, because it might hurt their feelings and it might not, but you just need to know, you know?
You have to respect it. Like, I think it comes with, like, recently, you know, my friend got me into love language, and apparently it's a really hot topic for this generation, and everyone's...
whenever me and Mike got back together, my hairdresser told me about the love language book, which I've heard about love languages a little bit, and I actually bought the book recently.
So I took the quiz, and my thing was quality time and gift giving. That's just what I love doing. But my friend made a good point, because she said that, you know, that's a way for people to just understand one another. So, for instance, you know, like I was seeing a guy, and he constantly wanted to hang out with me, and he would invite me. And most of the times it would be large gatherings at his house, and they would have parties. So obviously he wasn't giving me attention. He was going off and talking to other girls. Like, you know, obviously everyone was talking to him, and that would piss me off. And I would just be like, look, like, if you don't want to hang out with me, then why did you even invite me? But in his eyes, his love language is he obviously likes to spend time regardless of what it is. Like, he could be playing a video game. He could be at a party, you know, mingling with other people. As long as I'm there, to him, that's like his way of showing, like, I fuck with you. I want to constantly see you. But in my eyes, I was like, you, like, I don't why am I here? And, like, you're talking to other girls, and, like, you're not giving me attention. But it's like, that's just because I didn't understand his love language, and he obviously didn't understand mine. Yeah. So that's, like, where we both went wrong. But, like, his immaturity was he never asked me, like, yo, like, what's up with your attitude? Like, why are you always salty? He never asked me. But
why are you always salty?
Yeah, like, he's like,
why are you constantly in a bad mood? I just don't get it.
Yeah, he never once. She's like, yeah. He never once asked me, and, like, I wouldn't want to tell him because that's embarrassing. Like, I don't know you that well. I've hardly, like, known you. I haven't talked to you for long enough for me to say, like, I don't want to sound crazy, but it's like I'm at a party and you're just talking to girls all night. Like, I don't want to see that. I'd rather just be at home texting you. Like, I would much rather do that than see this
be
shit.
in this awkward situation where I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm not sure if you're into them or me.
Yeah. I've never done the quiz, but I'm obviously physical touch, as everyone knows. Like, I'm always, like, touching you guys.
I feel like mine is physical touch and positive affirmation.
I'll take it today and figure out for sure what I am, but I know for sure
That's
it's that one.
definitely it, because you're so cuddly.
I feel like,
You
yeah.
are.
Oh, 100%.
You touched my toe last night and I felt it and I was like,
know.
"Mm,
We were
there
going
she
to
is."
sleep last night and
She's
she was
like,
really
I have
far
to touch
away.
you somehow.
Yeah, like someone touched
well,
me.
usually you don't, which has been weird. Like you used to when we first met, but now like you like don't touch me anymore.
Well, you were just grumpy. I didn't know what was up, but
It was grumpy.
All right, guys, enough with your love story. For like, because I feel like a lot of guys have, unless you're just like have so much experience with dating, like how do you balance, say, if you guys have a different love language? Like, for example, mine might be like physical touch, and then the guy that I'm talking to, that's not important to him.
His could be like quality time.
Yeah, or his could just be like giving gifts or something. And so I'm not getting all of the things that I need. And he thinks, oh, if I buy you earrings every once in a while.
That means I
And
love
also,
you.
like, I know I told you guys my boyfriend's giving me earrings for Christmas, but the story is not about me.
Yeah,
no, I know what
So
you're
it's just an
saying.
example.
Yeah.
And so he thinks, oh, if I buy you gifts, then that shows that I love you and you should be happy with that. So how do people compromise whenever they have different love languages?
Well, you have to
talk about it.
Yeah,
you have to be open and talk. I'm all about
yeah.
compromise for anything.
That's basically what it just states. You know, it just says you have to see what that person's love language is and then figure out what yours is, and then also know that if your thing is gift giving, is it making that person happy?
Yeah.
Because if yours is, constant affirmation and they're not doing that for you, you're going to be upset. They need to understand, like, okay, I'm constantly giving her gifts and she's still, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that you can't just give someone gifts and have love. Like, you need to have other things too. Like, you can't just be
Yeah, so that's clearly not your love language.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, obviously,
I'm like,
to
speak
you.
for yourself.
No, honestly, okay, no, because I've had that before where something would happen and I'd be really upset about the situation, and instead of like figuring out or problem solving, he'd be like, oh, well, I have this amazing date night planned, and like, oh, here's this gift, and it's like, okay, yes, I really appreciate this gift, but it's not fixing anything.
Yeah, but
and
see, that's you.
It
not,
doesn't make me
like,
feel
that's
better.
Not your love language.
So, but I just feel like buying people things isn't love. But
No. It's not necessarily
you need
materialistic.
to have something with it, is what I'm saying.
No,
Gift giving is nice, but
No,
you need to.
literally the reason why you feel that way though is because it's not your love language.
Thank you. And also, by the way, gift giving in the love language is not materialistic, by the way. It's, for instance, let's
because-
say you're on your period and you're cramping really bad. Your boyfriend at the end of the day
Gives you
comes
chocolate.
home, brings
Yeah.
you your favorite chocolate, medicine. That's gift giving.
Yeah,
in
well,
love
that's
language.
way different than being like, oh, hey, I cheated on you. Don't be upset. Here's
a
a brand new iPhone 12.
I'm like,
okay.
So,
Yeah, she
for
would.
Example, Alexa, for example, instead of them like saying I love you every night, like before bed, or like cuddling you, their way of doing that would be like they, on their way home from work, they stopped at the
'Cause they
store
love
and
you
they
so
and they
much.
picked up your like favorite meal and then like cooked it for you, or like something that you love.
Okay,
So
well,
they're always
that's
thinking
obviously cute.
of
Yeah.
little like sweet things that they can give you, but they're never like cuddling or saying like, oh, I love you. But through those little
Yeah.
things that they're like thinking about, that's how they're saying.
Yeah,
I
and
do those
sometimes you
things
have to
too.
accept that. So, like, how you were asking earlier, how can you compromise or how can you understand each other? Sometimes, though, if you really love that person, what makes you not mad at them is when you do realize, oh, he's invited me to a party and not giving me attention. That's his love language because he wants to spend time with
that
me.
can become so hard though, especially like if
To
your
decipher.
love
Yeah.
language is absolutely the opposite and you don't feel like you're getting what you need. I personally don't know
You won't
if
work
I
out.
could accept that.
Yeah, you just, you
Yeah.
won't, then you're
Because
not
I will
meant to
never, for a couple days, maybe I can think, oh no, that he's showing me that he loves me through this way. But if I'm not getting my needs satisfied through like the cuddling or him telling me how beautiful I am, whatever, then I don't know if I could do it.
be. Yeah.
I mean, I now that you explain the gift giving, I think I'm like that as well. Like, I like to do little things to be like needed and stuff, so you understand. But at the end of the day, you need to like see that. Glad that we talked that out and figured out. We just all figured out love languages and the difference in how, talk about it with them, explain like I need this, and then hopefully you guys can come to an agreement to where maybe he cuddles you, once a day, or
And I have to say, those things definitely can get better because Mike's love language was not physical touch. When we first started dating, he used to complain about how I was so cuddly and I wanted to cuddle all the time. Now he like loves cuddling, kissing. He wouldn't tell me that he loved me for like the first like 3-4 months of our relationship. But now we
I was
say
like, that's
it,
pretty typical for
we
guys to
say
not
it
say that.
constantly now. But the cuddling, like, he always has to make sure that we're touching in bed now. Like, it's either our butts touching or, like, he'll have to put his hand over. Like
me.
Yeah, he was never like that before. He's completely, like, 180. So if someone wants to fulfill you and make you happy, they will do it.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, that's true love right
They'll
there.
work on it. Yeah. And then, but you also should do the same for them.
Oh, yeah.
It
I
should-
mean,
yeah.
I've been an A1 partner since the beginning. Like, you need it, I got it, I'm doing it,
that a
I'm
song?
working on it.
You need it. I got it.
Yeah.
So when do you think it's appropriate to actually say the word "I love you"?
I know, I've only done it once.
As soon as you feel it. Which I felt
feel
it
it
way sooner than Mike.
I know. I think because girls always feel it first. But to be honest, I think love can be just taken in so many different ways. You're either like you love someone or you are in love with someone, and that's why I think it's so different because. People are like, oh, don't say it too soon. Like, that makes you sound psycho or crazy. No, like, when I meet someone that I genuinely really like, I love that person. Like, I adore them, you know.
Really?
But now down the road, when I'm in an actual relationship with them, then, yeah, I will fall in love with them.
I've always
But-
said there's a difference
That's
as well
different.
between the two.
Yeah, that's what I would explain to Mike whenever he would be like, oh, no, I can't say it yet. I'd be like, well, are you in love with me? Because I feel like that's a lot easier to fall in love because that's just infatuation. That's a feeling.
Yeah. That's a deeper connection. Like, you're in love with that person.
Well, no, that's...
She's
I feel
saying
like
the
that's, I
opposite.
feel like I'm saying the opposite.
Yeah.
Infatuation is something that you can feel for a lot of people, and that
that's
tricks
true.
you into thinking that you're in love. And at that point, I'm comfortable saying I'm in love with you because I'm having these feelings. Like, why not say it in the moment if you're having... Me and Mike would first say, before he was comfortable saying I love you, I'm having a deep rush of emotions for you right now.
Oh.
He would make us say that instead of I love you. So I feel like
that's
that's whenever you
cute.
would say it. But I explained to him as well because feelings evolve over time. Now I honestly could say like I love Mike, like I'm down for him, like even if we break up, if this man ever needs anything for the rest of his life, like I'm there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's love. At the beginning, whenever I was in love and saying it to him, like it wasn't that type of like
Being
deep,
like in love
caring.
is deeper though. Like the actual definition is like in love is deeper than like loving someone.
Well,
You can love anyone.
love is
'cause
like more
being-
friendshipy, I feel
like.
Being in love
is like you would do anything for that partner.
No, but being in love has a cutoff period because infatuation. To me, being in love is infatuation. And infatuation statistically only lasts for a certain amount of time. It's different in each person, but it is a chemical in your brain. And, it will never...
What you're saying is true, but I think that's love, not in love.
No, that's in love.
I don't know. I feel like that's definitely...
I'm just gonna give it a like...
I'm like, I think love means you have infatuation.
Everyone can... No. Love, for me, is how you feel about your mom. It's about... For me, love, not in love, is like your mom, your family, someone who you're just like... down for no matter what, like they're gonna be in your life forever.
Yeah, that's when obviously you love. Yeah, I mean, I'm like that with friends or even my ex. If I know if I needed something, I can call him and he would be there and do whatever. But I'm not in love, like, and I'm the same for him.
Yeah.
But there was obviously a point in time where I was very much in love.
Yeah, so in love is deeper.
But with friends, like I have love for like. You know, my closest friends, like my roommate, like I love him so much, I would do anything for him, but I don't want to.
Anyone, Olivia, that you feel like the way about that I just described, like for my version of love, not in love.
I mean, yeah. Well, like I said, love is for everyone. Like you love your family, your friends. You can love a boyfriend, but in love is on a deeper level.
But do you truly like? Are you just saying, "Oh, I love you," or do you truly like if they needed anything?
Yeah. So if they needed, if I would do anything for them, that's me being in love with someone. And
but what
I've
about
been
friends?
in love.
What about friends?
I love you. I love you. I'm in love with someone as a boyfriend.
But that I feel like you're using that word too casually. Then, like that you love us, because to me, if I say it, like I would never tell you that, like I care about you deeply, but I would never say it, like I genuinely love you. Like you're not like my mom. You know, that's something.
So are you in love with me?
No,
she doesn't love you at all.
Oh, so she doesn't love me at
I
all.
I care about you deeply.
Oh,
but not
Alexa,
to that,
do you love
not
me
to
at
that
least?
level.
Thank you.
But
You guys have been friends for 4 years.
Yeah. No, I'm like that with friends. Like, but
like
what?
Olivia, I would say it like you're. This is like.
Well,
the
you
love,
heard it here
this
on
is
Three
the-
Girls One Kitchen. Amra doesn't love me.
This is the love
Or
for my
me.
family, Olivia. This is the love for my family, and then you're just like slightly below that.
Okay,
You
I'll
know?
take that. Thank you.
It's like I'll take
anything.
I feel
Any
like
kind of
you
love.
guys are using that word too casually. But also, I might just be a different type of person because
Yeah.
I accept fewer people into my life
You do.
than you guys do.
There's a reason why you don't have a lot of people in your life because you're very guarded. We're just loving creatures.
Well,
like,
I
I love this glass. I love this camera.
Well, I
in front
have
of me.
friends that I would do anything for.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I'm not in love with them, but I have
But
friends
would
for
you
sure.
take like if they were gonna die, would you take a bullet for them? Because like for
Do
me,
I-
for me to say that I love you,
I'm like, well,
I
it depends
have to be willing
who.
to do that.
Would you take a bullet for me?
Depends what moment. Like if you were an innocent victim, just
I am an innocent
frolicking
victim.
out in
Look
the
at me.
streets, holding my hand, and someone was about to shoot you, I would jump in front of you.
Yeah, I think I would do it for my friends.
Yeah, it's
too,
just a natural instinct. To be honest, this is weird because you always feel like you wouldn't do it, but I think in the moment your mind just completely changes.
Like you would probably
when
do
you
it for
see
a
that
stranger.
person's face
Yeah.
and like you just see them like, you know, I don't know, like it's weird.
You'd probably do it for a stranger.
Honestly, like yeah.
Yeah, obviously I would do it for like family, of course. I always think about that with like my little brothers.
Oh, of course. If you didn't, you'd be a like
I know. Oh my god.
heartless
Damn.
Some people wouldn't.
So, guys, if you listened or watched to the end, again, make sure that you subscribe. Send your love in the comments for the ladies. And
Yeah.
if
Let's
you're
get
watching
Olivia
this
a
on
boyfriend.
YouTube,
Oh my god.
please head over to our Apple channel and subscribe.
Apple iTunes.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah,
iTunes,
get us on top
Spotify.
10, baby. That's what I want for Christmas.